You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors of men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized, dirty Moors, tongues cut out, left earless, cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnappers, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 124, or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moors lips off. Disrespecting the mother Raz Mariah Bay. Wrap him up like double crochet, the barbed wire away. Throw him off a bridge, or feed him to the piranhas. Yellow journalist Moors spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bay, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crush the dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually said. That Canaanland is not a part of North America. Canaanland is bigger. Yo, it's ignorant, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same land, man. Canaanland is actually bigger than the landmass they know as the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they can just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Green. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotion.
You might hear hoarse voices, see frog faces, and who's feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget back teeth. New Moors are an issue, get into. Maybe a dream visit from Vishnu, a nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues through vigilance. Active Moors are militants, SPLC dirty Moors call that sovereign citizen. Lions reviews, they notice all the empty pews. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen Bays sell you out for peanuts, claiming that we nuts for teaching birthright street level, keeping it beat nuts.
To any members of the MSPA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MSPA. I got issues with the
Kendrick Lamar, stay surrounded by feathers. Dirty's guilty of fraud if dually scrutinize their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Hand in their back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors, knowledge the Commonwealth. Dirty's claim more, but really on the straw man help. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil little more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them two more status Indians claiming Turtle Island are lying so intricate.
long days and long nights. But this message needed to be heard.
KGP Beats.
Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. Mind elevation, time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation, time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. Mind elevation.
I know it's a lot to digest, but that doesn't mean you should digress. Stay on the studies, knowledge is power. As man think it's always he, be a lot in man, G-O-D. Generator, operator, destroyer. Hold up, give it a chance before you throw in the towel and call it quits. Take time to think what the prophet Drew Ali did. He bankrupted the U.S. so you could be free. Brought back El-Bay, Al-Day, and Ali. He brought back civilization, founders mainframe. Not only in appearance, but an abstract strain. Brought back the constitutional folder game. I know pigs got guns, just maintain. Put the guns down. Have you lost your brain? They got nukes, tanks, and drone bomber planes. Yeah, black power, but RBG are Moroccan flag colors. Can't you see? I know your sight is going, but you're not blind yet. It's all in your mind anyway, so don't mind threats. Life is too short. Not talking to rap pimp, calling yourself nigga when that's a chimp. Cave dweller, hey fella, a monkey is who you think you are, you stupid junkie. High of ignorance and ignorance. From sheets warning you of King Alfred plans. It's not about being in courts, but make them hear you. Declare your nationality, don't let them scare you.
The time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind
50 posts a
elevation.
day of brutality on Facebook. I know it's a lot, I still say study law books. Cause uniform pigs, wolves with badges creep. Ready to sink teeth in cause you act like sheep. Passive and docile, needing a shepherd. And the one you choose got rooms with cross checking. Compass and square sigils with a G in the middle. Have masses follow them like he's playing a fiddle. Have masses follow them cause masses scared shitless. Stay witless but post a world star when they bear witness. Always waiting for the rights from civil trickness. All your black leaders are on King Alfred hit list. Dirty Moors smelling like they got shit in. Picture for Aquarian age, make them switch hit. Like when I found 2 ounces and did a quick flip. From black to Moorish, American give devil split lips. Men walking with slit pupils and lipless. Talking my language like this is Genesis. I used to be one of society's menaces. Acting devilish makes me shake my head every time I reminisce about the past. Living fast at night, no days. Full of headaways and low flow days. I know those days won't be coming back again. Change is good, but I still beg no friends.
Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
Conscious coons trying to school me with limited knowledge. Taught to them by overseers from Masters College. 5 G's a year, I call that robbery and racketeering. Mental slave boats got mine stacked to the ceiling with info and data. Too many more haters. This in the Moors birthright is this in yours, player. Conscious coons chasing MCA fiat paper, not to be mean, but pyramid schemes for later. Grabbing at your attention like Aaron, don't care. Looking at a computer screen with a dead blank stare. I'm the Moorish MC, no pranks here. If you're too punk to be a Moor, just stand fair. If you scared to die, you better throw in the towel. A lot of black African goose movements are vowel. Well, they say Moors, but they talking black shit. That's still brown, I think your brains in backwards. Common sense broke his neck from a backflip. Some knowledge people get is like a crack epidemic. Nothing but denial. When I call up a Moor, they don't even watch the German Moors class with Moor and Bay. Didn't watch Moorish Connection to hip hop. NBA nigga slaves got youths in flip flops and minus degrees, like he's Bosch in Miami Beach. So hungry with money and funds in his teeth. Of live weed or chemicals he always reeks. Not saved by the bell, punk or rap and screech. MC Captain teach. The same boys on Backstreet. Get in the booth, run through beats like track meets. I call me a KTS and calling out as witness. Moorish MC, when I rap I spit gifts. Rapping blood clot dummies are on my hit list. Blowing through the air, no push, just natural mystics. I stay lawful, they want me legalistic. I'm on the corner schooling young gods you call mystics.
Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
KGP Beats.
So it's gonna get you rich. What? I'm rockets. Who says we ain't in the building? Who says we ain't into building? We the Moorish master masons, architects for your children, rapping Friday 30s like Jason without the killing. But we promote life, oh, it's all about the feeling. And we invoke light, yo, we them light beings. Though you might see him on the block getting this passion, might be talking to cops, giving them caution. So it's gonna get you rich. What? So it's gonna get you rich. What? I'm rockets. Who says we ain't in the building? Who says we ain't into building? We the Moorish master masons, architects for your children, repping Friday 30s like Jason without the killing. But we promote life, oh, it's all about the feeling. And we invoke light, yo, we them light beings. Though you might see him on the block getting this posture, might be talking to cops, giving them caution, occasionally wearing his fez when he's walking, see the turning heads, whispering, gawking, but he's locked in and he's zoned out while we boxed in our own house.
Study the mystics, the adepts, the magi, wisdom of the ancients can uncalcify eyes. Possible mission, free mental numbness, extract the substance with minds of dumbness. Use the source, don't care what some purport, as we know by being told man knows not. Many before the floor, souls got God, placed in the devil's hands, ruling the seven lands. To dogma rituals, Negro spirituals, brainwash subliminal, keeps thinking to a minimal. They're still criminal, in a world digital so pitiful. Mental survival so critical, it's visible. Can you see past righteous wrongs? Hashtag zombies with waves of cyber thugs. No need for cell phones, they speak to soft arms. It's nothing for alarm, chips and forearms.
Wind, brass, and bass, such a beautiful serenade. Women feeding me grapes, I'm feeding the in serenades. Whether the sky is clear or gray, rain when you hear it fake, giving life to seed. Speaking food I hear today. Show you the future in a glimpse. And I always look to these holes like revolutionary depths. Sun walked the desert, been more of a since I found God. Look back, used to see his friends. Forget being a prince, I'm a G. OD, grown man, no jokey. Deny you don't know me. Don't make me tap into the old me. That's like a couple hundred years. Walk around town with a couple hundred peers and release the peace of fears. The sun gon' shine for what tears. This young brother here just trying to get his third eye clear.
Wars don't sleep. Invest in your mind, body, and unleash real.
Yo, you remember? Remember when you used to have the cassettes and then the DJ would give you like a couple seconds for you to run, go get your cassette, right? Because they're about to play the song. They're about to play the single from that album you've been sitting there waiting for. Now the stuff these people got today. The stuff when the date of the album was dropping, waiting. That's what this one is. Wisdom of the womb. This is that. Any and every group. Any and every hip hop group that you say that you rep, this is all of them right now brought to you in this day and time. Wisdom of the womb. Hip hop's not about some parading around like some jackass, pants off your ass like a dummy. $500 belt, but your pants are off your ass, which is what the belt is supposed to be for. Talking about you have Ewings on. You don't even know who Patrick Ewing is. What do you mean you have? What do you mean you're buying Ewings? Who the hell is Ewing? You tell me. Zip lip. What the hell is Fila? Zip lip. But they're going to get their play because, you know, the brainwashed zombie rapper, MC, singer, R&B singer, dancer, whatever, is what they're about pushing. But we're really about the golden age. And the golden is the light, and then light is knowledge. So Wisdom of the Womb. This is the compilation album, the Canaanland Moors compilation album, where, you know, we basically got everybody on it who's anybody that reps some, they know themselves, and they're going to put that in their music. We don't care what these people say, how much they love hip-hop. If you're not talking conscious behind the mic, you're not hip-hop. F-O-H. You're not hip-hop. You're a clown out here misleading these people. So once again, Wisdom of the Womb, willofalah.com, the compilation album, 3-disc album. 3-disc album? 3-disc album. Come on now. Who's giving you that right now?
Who conscious is giving you that right now? 3-disc album, compilation. You don't even have to, there's singing songs on there for the singer people. There's dance song on there for the dance people. The jump around song for the jump people. Then there's the crew tracks for the crew people. All the people who rep for their, whatever it is that they rep. We say Moorish nation. You know what I mean? Islam to all the Moors. This shit deep, the Moors don't sleep. Right? Classic chorus. Classic chorus. Just go look up these people. Anonymous, Iron Sheik, Faye, JB. Just go look them up, see what comes up. Right? For example, you know Dr. Jamal El-Bey. That's not, he's not a doctor. Like, he's actually a doctor, has his stuff to prove, has himself to prove how real it is. I just happen to be able to spit too. So why you come get on this track? Right? You already know Roots K already. If you don't know yet, then you're behind the times if you don't know about Roots K. If you know about Ciroc and you don't know about Roots K, you're behind the times. That's how serious it is. It's really that serious. Right? Anonymous, y'all don't even know how crazy it is. Don't even know how crazy it is. You know, but you can spit. So got on the track. You know. Like hip hop. Not this BS that they're brainwashing people with today. That everybody could just look out their window right now and point at a bunch of people who's brainwashed by the BS. Because they don't have a foundation. As Moors, we have a foundation. And then we bring that into hip hop. And then you start, Mos Def saying he's Bay. Not only saying that he's Bay, he's opening gallery, showcase art and stuff like that. Why? Because he realized that hip hop is BS. You need to do something better with my time. So this crap that they call hip hop. Think they're putting out a new Black Star album just because they just, no, they're trying to save this BS. That people still playing around like record companies and record deals, and that's not what's going on right now. That's slavery. That's slavery. Paper slavery. Right? Transcending stuff, and people still playing with the BS. Trust me. As a quote-unquote black man, for example, that plays basketball for a career, let's just say, right? And I already played or whatever like that. I made some millions and stuff like that, you know. I can still be better. I mean, I love basketball and all that. But if these punks are going to sit down with me and look at me in my face and tell me, yeah, your job is secure or whatever like that. And then by the time I get home, I find out on Twitter or some BS that I got traded. Like, I got traded. Then F your league. I'm going home. F you guys. And I'm having a campaign right now for everybody else here who's ever been punked by these people. You already made your millions. What more do you want? F these guys and go start your own league. Like what Ice Cube did. He's not even into basketball stuff and he figured it out. These guys playing, get sent to another team after you just made the team, you know, whatever they did. Crazy. Because all these zombie movies, it's real. You're living in it right now. You know when you freaking watch whatever the zombie movie, and then there's the guy and he's trying to send the message out. Hopefully somebody gets the message that there's people alive out here or whatever. Okay, that's what this is right now. We're just putting the call up. We're just the lighthouse in the fog. If you see the light, you can approach this way. Facts. For people who like to say facts and stuff like that. That's facts. Mores are that. Forget all these other whatevers. So once again, we had a little postponing because Mores stay busy. Right? So next week, Sons of Allah. But for today, you know, Son of Allah. But we have to do our starting music before we start class.
So I just want to get you in. What? What? I'm rocket. Who says we ain't in the building? Who says we ain't into building? We the Moorish master masons, architects for your children, repping Friday 30s like Jason without the killing. But we promote life, oh, it's all about the feeling. And we invoke light, yo, we them light beings. Though you might see him on the block getting this posture, might be talking to cops, giving them caution, occasionally wearing his vest when he's walking, see the turning heads, whispering gawking, but he's locked in and he's zoned out while we boxed in our own house.
Study the mystics, the adepts, the magi, wisdom of the ancients can uncalcify eyes. Possible mission, free mental numbness, extract the substance with minds of darkness. Use the source, don't care what some purport, as we know by being told man knows not. Many before the four souls got bought, placed in the devil's hands, ruling the seven lands. To dogma rituals, Negro spirituals, brainwash subliminal, keeps thinking to a minimal. They're still criminal, in a world digital so pitiful. Mental survival so critical, it's visible. Can you see past righteous blocks? Hashtag zombies with waves of cyberpunk. No need for cell phones, they speak to soft arms. It's nothing for alarm, chips and forearms.
Wind, brass, and bass, such a beautiful serenade. Women feeding me grapes, I'm feeding to get new serenades. Whether this life's fair or great, great when you hear effective in life you see. Speaking through who not here today. Show you the future in a glance. And I was look to these hoes like hallucinatory dance. Sun walked the desert, been more of a since I found God. Look back, used to see his prince. Forget being a prince, I'm a G. OD grown man, no joking, deny it, you don't know me. Don't make me tap into the old me. That's like a couple hundred years. Walk around town with a couple hundred peers and release the peace of fears. The sun gon' shine, so what tears? This young brother here just trying to get his third eye clear.
This deep, Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind, body, and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living a dead attack. This deep, Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind, body, and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living a dead attack.
So as the moon sets, the sun takes its place. And spoons on blocks, inspired spots, fill spaces. Peel back, rats, who got cases. Fire stain the corridors of flemo faces. Game changers, rule benders, and no pretenders. Style benders, channel my vibe through the vibrant optic lenses. Send a message to our veterans, soldiers up and get it in. We on the verge, we emerge subliminal beings. Third eye seeing, still I participate unwilling.
They wanna break me, shake, bake, me. Rolling with my main G, double O-M-G. S-O-N is crazy. For a minute that you think you could take me for a fool like a native to his land, being schooled by a foreign dude. Keep mistaking me, spot is on the roof. In the dark rooms, I've been saying you mistaken me. To better move for our market. Power things my tongue, to resistance to target. Revealing all lies and deceit on the market. Genocide carried out in pockets, I knock it down, bulldozer. Take it to Goliath, it's an exposure. Some big heads moving and it's getting closer to your downfall. Round up on your soldiers.
Little homie, I was seeking a fortune, tired of misfortune. I just wanted a portion, everything that I never had, though I needed my portion. Blowing like porcelain, haters straggling porcelain. Getting broke, tired of being broke. How we acquire hope is to keep still as a dope, just to keep us afloat. Might as deep as the boat. Brain is the lethal weapon, we want it to elope. When I speak, I'm a boat. Walk in the room with my aura, feeling like heavy smoke. Feel like when they let me roll under my Louis fitted the semi-coat. Cause then we capture the killing, boy, yeah, the joke. The cost of living, higher profits in private prison. These little girls are sunny body just to pay tuition. These little niggas sunny niggas just to build condition. It's like this thing can never end the prison in the mission. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me and me one plan. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me and one plan.
The street is my world.
Islam, Moors. Peace and love, and welcome to another episode of Sons of Allah. But just with one of the sons today, and earlier. But it's all right. We're still here, and then next week, we'll have the real Sons of Allah. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Islam to my brother, my co-host, Mizraim Aleph L, and the whole Mantis Views 29 family doing the work out there, getting out there. You know, forget lecture about something. Let's get out there and see what's out here. Document it for the people. We also want to throw a shout out to RV Bay Publications, online, Moorish University, been around for a long time, assisting our people out of mental slavery that Noble Drew Ali told Moors that they're supposed to do. In 2007, I was under the tutelage of Moors who put certain things on the record because as scientists, we know words sound power. So we're going to put this on the record once again, just to reinvigorate the ethers, since it's already been put out and probably hasn't been put out in a while. This is the Moorish Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 2007. If you never heard about the Moorish Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 2007, it's probably because of the same people who killed Noble Drew Ali. The same people who buried your birthright. So you think that this is not something that's been going on at its heights during our time. That this thing was locked down by Moors in our time. And only the ones who were studying, only the ones who kept to the principles, only the ones who praised Allah and gave honors to the Prophet. Remember, this is 2007. 2007. We, the undersigned Moors, find it necessary to enact a treaty of peace and friendship among ourselves in order to foster unity among ourselves. Since 1929, there has been a proliferation of many Moorish individuals, groups, bodies, organizations, nations, etc. Although we may not agree on every topic and issue, we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. We all agree that we must practice our 5 principles among ourselves, as handed to us by our ancestors and given to us by our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Namely, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. How can we promote and teach these principles to the world, to the world, if we do not practice it among ourselves? If our ancestors were able to enter into treaties of peace and friendship with Europeans, we should definitely be able to enter into a treaty of peace and friendship among ourselves, the Moors. Remember, this is 2007. This treaty is very simple, so it can be agreeable to all. If we are to practice the 5 principles among ourselves, then we should be able to agree to the following. And then the following is based on Moors across the country who were students of Noble Drew Ali, didn't matter whatever you belong to, but everybody who says, well, in our area, this guy is the guy that everybody just goes to, so he's going to be the one. Then that guy's area, and then all those people came together. And then the Moors in the temple that brought us in were in this. And why was it done? Because of the same BS. All these people trying to claim that they're the whoever. Well, there's already been something established by Moors. And it was nothing that we need to talk about anything ever again. Because we had this agreement amongst ourselves. If you weren't down with the agreement, then obviously you're not down with the Prophet, you're not down with the movement, you're not down, and then that's how you have this concept of certain people going underground and they're not going to be out here studying because of dirty people. Right? And Brother Bay and Sister Bay, this came out of these Moors recognizing the covenant. Because we agree to everything that was given to us by our Prophet. And he brought that covenant to us. On a divine level. But on this plane, we need to have something to govern. This is the Constitution. You know what this is like? This is like, you know when they talk about unify the gangs? And then the gangs have their little meeting where all the heads go to it or whatever, and they say, okay, we're not going to shoot you guys on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Then you guys can't shoot us on whatever, and they set up their little... But this was done for Moors who were on this mindset already that they're Moors. They already been in these European jurisdiction or whatever like that. Beat these people up. These people apologizing to them, whatever. They already put their own tag on and exercise their right. They already sent writ to whoever got whatever discharge, no UCC, no nothing. And this was underground. This wasn't something out there. This was underground. Because it was amongst Moors who were on a certain mindset. Only them really understood what Moors were doing in 2007. In whatever jurisdiction they were in, under whatever they call their stuff. Once they recognize Noble Drew Ali and the 5 principles, and you're standing on that for real, all right. We'll back you with whatever. But it's not like they needed the backing. They already had their jurisdiction on lock. While other Moors are playing around with, and having issues or whatever like that. What those Moors playing around doing issues, playing around selling stuff, whatever, just get down with the people who the stuff's working for. Dummy. So these Moors who had this mindset, put this out. And we're resurrecting this again to put it in the ethers, because from Moors that I deal with, I know that this is still in force. I know that this is still in force. And Moors don't even know about this, and it's in force. That's how crazy it is. Why it even came to my attention, because somebody sent me something with a Moor talking about the treaty doesn't apply to Moors. And the treaty has nothing to do with you because you're Moorish American, you're not Moroccan, and all this BS. I'm like, what do you mean the treaty has nothing to do? There's a Moorish treaty of peace and friendship. What do you mean? What do you mean the Moroccan treaty has nothing to do with the Moors? If we're Aboriginal Indigenous, we're in our own land, and this is our jurisdiction. There was people here when the Sultan told them that they could come here. There was no some barren land or whatever. These people were only supposed to stay in the seaboard only. They're not supposed to be in the mainland. 13 colonies, seaboard. So if anything goes down, you could send them home. So don't think that, yeah, well, the Sultan and all that stuff, and 13 colonies, that ain't nothing compared to the vast estate of the Moors. What 13 colonies? That's a jurisdiction? He gave them that, and he's somebody? How come you only gave them that? How come you didn't send them on the West Coast? How about that? If you want to talk about we're not Moroccan and we don't have no jurisdiction here, but Sultan only gave them 13 colonies. He didn't give them anything in the mainland. Why? Because people there who already got culture there. You don't got no jurisdiction on the mainland. Remember, if he's a quote-unquote head of state, he works for the people. He doesn't work for himself. I don't care what his title is. If he has a title, or she has a title, that title is because of the people. Especially if they're in their own land. So the people who weren't part of the 13 colonies that realized that this is some BS going on, Let's just go over here and have a treaty amongst ourselves so that we can still have our claim. Because quote unquote treaties or these arrangements made between parties, if both the parties are of the same nation, that's solidifying the nation because it's getting all the sellout people out. Because if you're not down with this, you have to be a sellout. If you're talking about, well, who wrote that? What do you mean, who wrote that? Moors wrote that. What do you mean, who wrote that? Well, I want to see something to show that. So you're basically saying you're not down with this. Anybody who says that they can't be down with this, they're a sellout and an agent and all the other stuff. Because again, this treaty is very simple so that it can be agreeable to all. If you're not in all, you're a sellout. We are to practice love among ourselves. We agree to practice truth among ourselves. We agree to practice peace among ourselves. We agree to practice freedom among ourselves. We agree to practice justice among ourselves. We agree not to kill or harm one another in any way. We agree not to slander one another. We agree not to backbite one another. We agree to work in cooperation with one another. We agree to build institutions that will foster and promote unity with one another. We agree to be industrious in building a social and economic base for our nation. We agree that united we stand and divided we fall. This treaty was put in motion on the new moon on Thursday, October 11th, 2007, and shall be perpetual. If you can't agree to that, you're a dirty Moor. If you can't agree to that, if you as a Moor have some issue with anything written in there, you know where you stand. That's why we stand where we stand, as the vanguards in this. It's not about some title BS. It's about people getting their birthright back. It's their birthright people stole. Made millions. Speaking about millions. Speaking about millions, put this one out there just so you could see how people sold you out. Claim that they're your people and all that stuff. Sold your asses out. And playing games. Don't want to support what the Moors are doing. When the Moors are all you got left. Everybody sold your asses out. And why the Moors got you? Because the Moors give you the true lesson. They say, go study. Well, listen to what I'm saying. You go study. You go check for yourself. Right? But these people are straight playing games with you. Straight playing games. And that's how crazy this is. That this is even playing games. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to a book called Articles About the Community of Imam W. Dean Muhammad. Again, studious Moors, just doing their research, they find stuff, they send it. And sometimes it's crazy what Moors send. So this is called Articles About the Community of Imam W. Dean Muhammad by Q. Q. Dawood Gray. Imam Yahya claimed he had a 2.5-hour debate with supporters for an organizational name at the 2013 New Medina Islamic Retreat in Sumral, May 24th to 26th, 2013. According to Imam Yahya, or Yahya, his opposition to an organizational name is based upon a request by IWDM, Imam W. Dean Muhammad, before his passing on September 9th, 2008. Yahya, if anything happens to me, leave the community just like I have set it up. He was supposedly instructed. The 57-year-old speaker allegedly told the supporters he would accept an organizational name if they could identify a name that the Muslim community assumed during the classical period of Al-Islam. That period covers the leadership of the rightly guided caliphs Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. After hearing such responses as Quraish, Quraish, comma, Moors, and Ansar, IWD Muhammad said he made it real easy for them. Tell me the name that we had on our community in the last 5 years of Imam's life from 2013 to 2008. Now what's crazy is in this one, what's submitted, because this just got sent to me yesterday or the day before. And this ebook reference had some more pages. But they're missing. But what it basically went into was that if these guys were able to find out a name, or the reason why W. Dean Muhammad was asking them about find the name or whatever like that, and then those were the names, and he said he made it easy for them to know what the name is. Remember who his father is. So He puts it on them, lets them know what the name is. Whatever happened, but he basically got an offer from Saudi Arabia that he's gonna give, he's gonna be able to get 200 million, 220 million or something like that from Saudi Arabia in order to fix the problems of the black guys if they can tell them the name that they were known as during the classical period of the Islamic reign. Not 200 million for him as organization, 200 million for all of the quote unquote Muslims who they know that were in America that needed. Doesn't that sound like somebody's prophecy manifesting? So when the Moors sent this, I went to this Muslim whatever website and just sent them an email because something just seemed strange. Something just seemed strange. So Assalamu alaikum. I am Kudro Arwa El, Grand Sheikh and Divine Minister of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, founded by Noble Drew Ali. I was reading the articles about the community of Imam W. Deen Muhammad by Q. Dawood Gray, and it spoke about early in IWDM's leadership. In 2013, a loan was granted and repayment negotiations were being made for 200 million. Do you know what 200 million could have done for these Muslims in America, conscious and unconscious, who built this country and was never paid a dime for the work their ancestors did under subjugation? Do you know how many businesses, schools, temples, and Islamic community centers could have been built with 200 million? Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that one day our brothers from the East will help us. It appears to me this was that calling that IWDM denied every Muslim in America, because basically why they took the loan back was because he didn't want to go with that name and told them keep their money or some BS. No, no. If these people know that we're Moors and they see this individual who's under the umbrella of this body that has conventions, and the Saudis recognize the convention, a black Muslim convention of the whatever, and says, yo, we'll put 200 million in for the stuff for you guys. And they told them keep their money. And you want to know why your times are hard right now? You think the prophet's prophecies aren't manifesting, have been manifesting, and these people playing around with your stuff? playing with your stuff. 200 million? We don't even need that now to do some work. Because we already know what it is. That's just gonna have empty buildings that nobody can maintain. 200 million. Nothing. Back then, oh yeah. Could have did something with that 200 mil. You could have did something with that. For everybody. But nah. They're the spokesperson. They're the representatives of the people's sovereignty that the people gave to them, that they're abusing. Don't let yourself get played. Life. Selected quotations. Sometimes it is impossible to stop the river of life. We cannot all see dreams in the same way. The search for happiness is more important than the need for pain. Dreams nourish the soul, just as food nourishes the body. The pleasure of the search of adventure feed our dreams. Defeat exists, but not suffering. A true warrior knows that when he loses a battle, he is improving the skill with which he wields a sword. He will be able to fight more skillfully next time. It is precisely the possibility of realizing a dream that makes life interesting. The only way to save our dreams is by being generous with ourselves. This is not all the Moors who've been paying their dues and giving donations and all that stuff so that we can have something out here for the Moors to use to make their conditions better, because of the work that every individual Moor knows that they can do. And with an opportunity, just like the other one just said, it is precisely the possibility of realizing a dream that makes life interesting. The possibility of that dream of having that line of shea butter, or that perfect blend of coconut oil and something, or that vegan food, or that Reiki, or that whatever it is. All the Moors who saw the vision and, for lack of a better term, put their money where their mouth was. Right. They put it. No questions asked. They just saw the vision. They saw the vision. And it is precisely the possibility of realizing a dream. Everybody realizing the same dream, that this individual called Noble Juali brought something for us. What does that thing look like that he brought? And once everybody's mindset on what that thing looks like, it manifests. That's just how the powers work. Only if you're in tune with the right frequencies. That's just all it is. Being in tune with the frequencies. letting quote unquote nature or mother take its course. Because the only way that it's gonna get done is if the mother's backing it. Things only got real serious when the mothers in our temple realized who they were, and themselves started going out and doing rituals and going out and to wherever it is that they go. Them, nothing to do with anybody else. Only the mothers and the children. When they realized time to hop out the Prophet's arms, here comes Zodiacus, living. And it's going to be problems. The only way to save our dreams is by being generous with ourselves. As soon as people decide to confront a problem, they realize that they are far more capable than they thought they were. That one's a real one. That one's a real one. As soon as people decide to confront a problem, they realize that they are far more capable than they thought they were. On each and every one of these 365 days, I will look at everyone and everything as if for the first time, especially at the small things. It is one thing for the entire universe to conspire to make our dreams come true. It's quite another to set yourself entirely unnecessary challenges. It's one thing for the entire universe to conspire to make our dreams come true. It's quite another to set yourself entirely unnecessary challenges. Every moment of searching is a moment of encounter. Go in search of your gift. The more you understand yourself, the more you will understand the world. The warrior of light is not afraid to weep over ancient sorrows or feel joy at new victories. When he feels the moment has arrived, he drops everything and goes off on some long dreamed of adventure. Whenever you want to achieve something, keep your eyes open. Islam to all the eyes wide open, MHHS Moors. Whenever you want to achieve something, keep your eyes open. Concentrate and make sure you know exactly what it is that you want. No one can hit their target with their eyes closed. Woo! No one can hit their target with their eyes closed. Well, after lots of practice, you can actually do that. But angels are invisible to those who accept the light and break the pact made with darkness. Angels are visible to those who accept the light. Those who accept the light. The acceptors of the light. You know, Drew Ali tell us about marvelous lights and all that. Angels are visible to those who accept the light and break the pact, break the contract. Moorish Peace and Friendship Treaty. The pact that's supposed to keep darkness away because all the light's supposed to be unified. If all the light's unified, then there's no darkness, which is ignorance. But no, light wants to go down there, do something. Light wants to go down there and over there, and not only do something, but tell you $5 grand for it. Might tell you they're gonna save your house and they're gonna save your this and that. And you like a dummy because you don't study, because you didn't listen to the Moors with the light. You listen to the 60-watt Moors instead of the 100-watt Moors. You're listening to the stadium light Moors instead of the sunlight Moors. You don't know how your dumbass got fooled into paying somebody $5,000 for some papers to be a Moor. Or you paid some whatever to get some DNA tests for them to test your DNA, and now you're a Moor because they tested your DNA and now you know you're a Moor. You go to your own people who test DNA. You go to these guys. So they can tell you. The Nubujwali told you what the stuff is already. What more you want? What you want to know? What more you want to know that other than your Moors? What more you need to know about who you are? The pact with darkness is broken. It is the revealers of the light time. It's like just like the other day. More just behind the wheel of the conveyance got his fez on. Another more is like, hey, nice hat. Hey man, it's not a hat, man, it's a fez. We're Moors. It's my national headdress. What? My national headdress. Huh? You're a Moor too. Hit the brake. And man disappeared. Don't even know where he went. Don't even know where he went. People's eyes are now being opened to the light. Omar tell y'all Islam more. Yeah, I'm just doing a class right now. Just tell them more is Islam.
Islam more.
Yeah, I'll link you back.
You're doing an online class?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so what do you do?
I'll link you in an hour. I'll link you in an hour.
All right, well, do so because I've got some updates.
All right, no worries. Peace. Yeah, more. It's light time right now. At every moment of our lives, we all have one foot in a fairy tale and the other in the abyss. At every moment of our lives, we have one foot in a fairy tale and the other in the abyss. Choosing one path means abandoning others. Choosing one path means abandoning others. If you try to follow every possible path, you will end up following none. And then put that into the scope of all the different schools of thought that you belong to be where you are, and you thought you knew something until you got more science and you realized everything's more science. Why the hell was I playing around with all this other stuff all those years? Why you guys just tell me that I was Moors when you were telling me about African stuff? Why just tell me that I was Moors when you were telling us about slave ships and stuff like that? All those paths need to get abandoned by our people. They've got them nowhere. Obviously, they've gotten nowhere because look at the condition of our people. We're nowhere. While everybody else is prosperous, doesn't matter if it's a recession, depression, doesn't matter. They're still able to survive. They got bomb dropped on them and stuff like that, and they're still around. Like hella light years in front of us. Because you want to play Negro, you want to play no unity. There's not unity amongst our people because we call ourselves all different stuff. Okay, well, let's call ourselves one stuff. All right, we're going to call ourselves, no, it's Moors. What do you mean we're going to call ourselves? What do you mean? We're Moors. That's what we are. In order for us to call ourselves. We call ourselves something when we're already called something. If you try to follow every possible path, black path, try to follow that. Negro path, try to follow that. African American path, try to follow that. Kemetic, whatever, try to follow that. Hebrew, you try to follow that. Gangster, thug, athlete, entertainer, you name it. You try to call all the different paths, all of them led you to following nothing, just being these people's footstool. So you have no spine. And you're just not going to tell these people, F you guys and your league. F you. I'm leaving. I don't need you guys. You guys have me taking my family all across the world, my children changing schools 50 times or whatever like that, play on your BS team. That we're not going to win nothing. F you guys. Playing around. You take everything that you got from them people and do your own stuff. And really be the humanitarian that you know you're supposed to be. Be the clown. Pushing skinny jeans and stuff like that. You pushing it like, not just wearing it because, you know, well, just got to wear this. Like you're on this hard. Pushing it. Pushing wear hoodies and stuff like that. They wear a hoodie, it's summertime. What are you talking about? And in the winter, you're wearing sneakers in the winter. And you wear boots in the summer. You guys dumb? Oh, well, you know, the music did it. The music did it. Life. In order to arrive, you must follow the signs. God inscribed on the world the path that each man must follow. It is just a matter of reading the inscription he wrote for you. What more do you want? When we postpone the harvest, the fruit rots. But when we postpone our problems, they keep on growing. Oh yeah, and Lion Judah, this is son of Allah, and we don't deal with devils and all that stuff up in here. We don't deal with devils and all that. We don't deal with negative energy and all that type of stuff. We're Moors. The vibe that we vibrate on, negative can't even come in here and try anything. What are you talking about? Negative energy releasing what? We eat that. Negative energy doesn't stand a chance around us. You know who we are? We're Moors. We're not these Moors that you see in these temples and stuff like that, pheasant or bag Moors. We're the manifestation of your ancient foremothers and forefathers, here to slap you again for being a dumbass and not listening to what it is that you're supposed to be doing, because the inscription was there for every man to follow. Why are you following some other BS when there's a plan already inscribed for you to follow by the Most High? Trust me. And the Most High's plan is not for some clown to have you on their team and they sat down with you and looked you in your eyes and told you, hey, we are not going to trade you. And then by the time you get home or something like that, Twitter is telling you that you got traded. Twitter told you got traded. Twitter told you you got traded. Like, don't you realize they realize they're overstacking the Western Conference? They're overstacking the Western Conference. All the big boy Moors are going to be over there. Twitter tell people they're traded and they're still going to go to training camp. You didn't tell these people F all you guys? What kind of contract are you people on? What type of contracts are those? The sellout is real. The sellout is real. And it's in everything. It's in every genre of music. It's in every sport. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I was looking at how's a European country named France winning some stuff, but all their players aren't European. So why are they calling that for? Or are they really trying to tell people something? Maybe that's not some European stuff, maybe. Maybe there's a history there of Asiatic people. When we postpone the harvest, the fruit rots. But when we postpone our problems, they keep on growing. No one day is like another. Each tomorrow has its special miracle, its magic moment in what old universes are destroyed and new stars created. Before commencing battle, the warrior of light opens his heart and asks God to inspire him. And if man is Allah in the flesh, I want to say thank you to all the gods that inspired this, that inspired the Moorish Divine and National Movement still being around. The people who kept true to this, who kept true to their nation. They don't need a state of anything if we are a nation. We need a state of what? Moorish state of something? What Moors need a state for if they're a nation? Oh, because right now the nation states, and I thought that was a European. Why are you listening to him? Why you listen to your brothers telling you that we are a nation? It is even more difficult to define a path for yourself. The person who does not make a choice dies in the eyes of the Lord, even though he continues to breathe and to walk about the streets. For man has to choose, therein lies his strength, in the power of his decisions. It is even more difficult to define a path for yourself. The person who does not make a choice dies in the eyes of the Lord, even though he continues to breathe and to walk about the streets. For a man has to choose. Therein lies his strength, in the power of his decisions. So you know that you're a Moor. You still call yourself black? And you still call people black? And people around you who look like you know you're a Moor, but you're not going to put them on that they're not black? Power over your decisions. Is that lies the strength. What decision are you going to make? Are you going to say, yes, I'm going to do that thing that is detrimental to myself or my Moorish community? Are you going to stop and think before you act? Because it all comes down to you when it's time to make the decision. Are you going to fold? Or are you going to stand on your square? Are you going to be a ram with your knowledge? Or are you going to pick your battles? All comes down to the decision you make. And if these people are on game because, they know that you have a birth certificate, that doctor did his little ritual and stuff like that, and he got the birth chart and he knows everything about you from head to toe, you better be on your P's and Q's. You better have your T's crossed and your I's dotted, because it's going to be your decision that makes or mars your fortune. It's going to be your decision. There's a lot more. You already know you already know how the fam goes. Fam Fam just gotta get the support, because you already know the energy of the Moors is too much for them and they can't deal with it, but they gotta deal with it, and they deal with it how they have to. So, you know, Islam to all the Moors out there who's, you know, just doing their best to be themselves, you know, even amongst their own who's ridiculing them and laughing at their stuff and, you know, making a mockery of it or whatever. Stay steadfast. Don't be shifted. Do not be shifted by these people's disloyalty to their nation, that they don't want to accept that it's theirs. They're going to make up every excuse why, you know, they can't just get down with the protocol. And everybody knows what's up. It's not just, you know, because you say something. We're going to give you a throwback right now. Book 2, Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, by the great researcher and scholar, Brother Hakeem Bey. The Journal of the Moorish Paradigm is a journal dedicated to Moorish science, history, and civilization. Moorish science. For all those people, remember, this is before people who were, you know, trying to tell you throw away your Moorish. How come he's saying Moorish so easy? How come he's not fighting it? He's not fighting it. He accepted the pertaining to. Right? Our nationality card says Moor. Yeah. But we're Moor, we're Moorish, we're Berber, we're Arab, we're whatever. We're all the stuff. I'm going to be a Moor, but I'm not Moorish. I mean, you're not Moorish. How are you not Moorish if you're a Moor? What do you mean? Moor is in Moorish. So how are you not a Moor when somebody says Moorish? Remember, this is pre-2007. This is pre the everybody has a YouTube page and they're a scholar and they're going to teach you something because they made a video of putting videos together, and then it stimulated you because of the visuals, not really because of what is said, and you think you learned something like a dummy. Pre that. This is when Moors go to the library and, you know, have the librarian going in the back stuff to bring books out for them that they don't even have on the shelf, and go study and retrieve this information and present it to our people for a little price, you know. Right? Because remember, Moorish paradigm is 1993. 1993. What were you doing in 1993? In 1993, we were on some BS. Didn't know jack about a Moorish paradigm, much less anything else about who we are as a people. The goal is the formation and documentation of a Moorish paradigm or worldview. The Journal of the Moorish Paradigm is also designed to chronicle the evolution of this Moorish paradigm. In this ongoing journal, we intend to introduce you to knowledge and information from a perspective that you will find nowhere else. This issue, number 2, was originally published in February of 1997. Since going monthly, we have decided to rename this issue the February 2001 issue number 2 of the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. We are now setting the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm for nationwide and international distribution. Any individual, store, vendor, organization, website, business, etc., interested in selling the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm can receive up to a 40% discount on the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm books, DVDs, tapes, etc. Simply contact Brother Hakeem Bey. We want to thank all the brothers and sisters who have assisted me throughout the years. Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. Nanticoke and Moor folk medicines. The Delawares, Shawnee, Seneca, Mohican, and other Eastern Indians claim that their forefathers originally received their knowledge from the Matan Pasikon, M-A-H-T-A-N, M-A-H-T-A-H-P-A-H-S-E-E-H-U-N, M-A-H-T-A-H-P-A-H-S-E-E-K-U-N, from a tribe called the Nanticoke. In the essay, Nanticoke and Moor's Folk Medicines by C. A. Westlager, W-E-S-L-A-G-E-R, he speaks about the Aboriginals who call themselves Moors and Nanticotes. You hear that? Hear that, right? The Aboriginals, remember, C.A. Westlager, W-E-S-L-A-G-E-R. Make sure you go research him and get his essay on Nanticoke and Moor's folk medicines, where he speaks about the Aboriginals who call themselves Moors. The Aboriginals who call themselves Moors. The Aboriginals who call themselves Moors? Well, so how come these people who are on here call themselves Aboriginal today don't call themselves Moors? He goes on to say, regarding a community of Aboriginals in Kent County, Delaware, that locally these people are called Moors. And he further says, investigations among the Delaware Moors, starting in the fall of 1941, led me to conclude that the ancestry of many of the families included both Delaware and Nanticoke Indians. These people were also classified as Negro on the books of the Europeans. And Westlager documents the struggles of these people against that designation. The struggles of the people against the designation of being Negro. So the people back then, and Negro means black. Make sure you go check Common Sense Quickie, jump over Negro. So if Negro means black, Negro means black. Negro means black. Matter of fact, let's just see. Hey, look at that. Came right up.
Common Sense Quickies. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try? Here's a question. Why do some of our people jump over the word Negro? What do I mean? Well, they will say that all these different words mean black, except for Negro, when Negro is the Portuguese/Spanish adjective meaning black. The Portuguese made Negro into a noun in the 1500s, meaning a black object, and placed that label on us after we fell in Spain. Even Dr. John Henrik Clarke said it.
Negro is not a nationality. So they Portuguese or Spanish, you can adjective is made a noun out. So they Portuguese or Spanish, you can adjective is made a noun out. So they Portuguese or Spanish, you can adjective is made a noun out.
An object is not alive, and that is why Minister Farrakhan said,
Most of you Negroes. Come on. I'm not insulting you, I'm just saying you're dead. That's what Negro and nigger means.
so why do some of our so-called leaders and scholars say that Tom Mary means black, and Kush means black, and Kabbalah means black, and Moor means black, and Kemet means black, and Heru means black, and Asar means Lord of the Perfect Black, etc. And they will call themselves black people, and some of the other names I've mentioned. Yet they will not call themselves Negro, or they will say death to the Negro, when Negro is Portuguese/Spanish for black. So I tell you what, let's do a swap. Let's swap black for Negro, being that they are a literal translation of each other. So Tom Mary means Negro, and Kush means Negro, and Kabbalah means Negro, and Kemet means Negro, and Heru means Negro, and Asar means Lord of the Perfect Negro. Sounds messed up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So let's be real. Every time you say you are black, you are saying you are Negro. Because if Kem is a translation for black, and you identify yourself with Kem, Negro is a translation for black also. So you cannot jump over Negro. And for those who like to say that Moor means black, we will address that statement in the next Common Sense Quickies. Common sense was made before book sense.
Common sense was made before book sense. Stop this stupidness now. Stop this stupidness now. You gotta have that. Stop this stupidness now. The Moors. So if you're gonna say that they're black and be all this stuff, it's time to be Moors. They don't want to be Moors. See why they have problems. That's okay. Don't be mad at them. Don't hate them. They just lack knowledge. They just lack knowledge. Lord of the Perfect Negro. I know that was a good one. That was a good one. Just out to Brother Sheldon out. And Brother Yusuf. Brother Yusuf, I found the thing, so don't worry. Don't worry, I found it. I already put them on. I already put them on. Just know that we're here just to let the people know about their birthrights and stuff. We're not the ones that are trying stuff. So, Moore sent me a video, but since certain people snitch, we're not going to play their stuff. But he found some questions. Islam brother Navi. He found some questions in the video that certain people were asking the so-called, scholar guy. Who, when the scholar guy came to Toronto, told all the Negroes here and all that stuff that, oh yeah, you see the Moors back there with the red feathers on and stuff like that. Yeah, these Moors. Islam professor, we're back here. We got you. Don't worry. Wasn't hating. As a matter of fact, sat down with Moors and rep that he's a Moor. You understand? He gets it. He gets it. So one of the questions was, how can so-called blacks claim a birthright identifying as such? And the scholar said, whatever it is that he said, I really don't know, but I'm probably sure it was in favor of black. So we're not going to go there. So the question, how can so-called blacks claim a birthright identifying as such? Well, being that black is an adjective, it cannot be a birthright. So like Brother Abdullah says, your question is colored. That's a colorable question. And Moors don't do color. So don't think you're going to get a colorable question for a colorable answer. There's no answer because the question is BS, because there's no such thing as black people. Blacks can't claim a birthright. Let a chair claim a birthright. Oh yeah, I'm a chair of this land. But I'm metal, I'm not wood. I'm a metal chair, and I'm claiming this earth as a metal chair. Sure. Only wood chairs could do that. Go where the metal chairs are made and go make your claim there. You're not gonna come to wood chair jurisdiction talking BS about you want to get recognized as a mahogany chair. No. And then when you melt your ass down, metal guy, you realize that you weren't originally that fiction that you claim to be. You put yourself in a jurisdiction that you have no business being in. Because people are not languages. People are not words. People are living, not words. People aren't parts of speech. If a person thinks they're a part of speech, they have mental problems, serious mental problems. And if they're pushing on other people to be a part of speech, no wonder conditions are what they are. And you better watch your children, these pedophiles out here. Because their children don't know themselves. They think wear short shorts is cute because the girl in the video and on the reality TV show, she's walking down the street with her half of her ass outside. So, you know, don't get mad. There's pedophiles out here. You know they're out here. Don't say nothing. You know they're out here. I can see why they you know, stuff down to your ankles, veil, all that stuff. You're not seeing anything. Nothing for you to see. Nothing. No thoughts of anything. All you see is eyes. There's pedos out here. Everybody else's culture. They're making sure they're protecting themselves and their daughters and all that stuff. What the Negroes doing? Their daughters twerking. Just going on Snapchat and make a video twerking just because they're standing in front of a mirror. It's black man mindset. You have birthright in that. Your birthright is mental slavery if you're black. That's your birthright. Your birthright is to be a zombie forever. That's what your birthright is. The other question they ask, how is it that Moors are Roman? How is it that Moors are Roman? So obviously the scholar probably said that Moors are Romans or something, right? Now, if you're a dummy and a weak mind, you're going to look at it like some Europeans have something to do with Rome or the founding of Rome or with the Pope and Vatican, and that means the Moors work for the Vatican. You're a dumbass. Because everybody knows at around a certain time, there are no Europeans around here like that. And if they were, they weren't civilized. They were living in barns. They were living in hay. When you say Moor means Roman, if Moor means Roman in Rome, and Moors are quote-unquote black, then that would mean Romans are dark-skinned people, not some Europeans. So if Moors are Romans, get into your mind the quote-unquote 3 black popes, for example. Get into your mind the origin of the month named September. Next up, how come the Gregorian calendar, some European BS, one of the months is named after a Moor who was Roman? If you want to look at that as a negative, you go right ahead. Because by accepting the fact that if Moor comes from Romans, that would have to mean that the Romans were dark-skinned people. Why would some Europeans call some dark-skinned people Moors and the Europeans are the ones that are ruling? That's not a bonus. Because if they're ruling, then their other job is subjugation. And if they're subjugating somebody, you're not going to call them by their original name. You're going to call them by a war name or a slave name. You're not going to call them by their real name to conquer them. That would be very incompetent of a conqueror. Say, hey, we're going to conquer the Moors, so we're going to call them Moors. That's how we listen to dummies. Right? Over 4,000 views on this video. With these people selling our people out. Straight selling them out. Straight selling them out. Now I'm going to put the video out there. So if you find it, you find it. I wouldn't go looking, though. It's not that serious. We're just letting you know there's these people out here playing around with you. Right? Playing with you. Don't let them play with you. I beg you, don't let them play with you. I beg you, don't let them play with you. We want to send a shout to all the Moors worldwide. To all the Moors, wherever you're at. Islam to you for staying true to the principles that Noble Drew Ali laid down. We just want to end with a reading by Brother C.M. Bay on the Clock of Destiny. The highest law is a written constitution, proof of freedom. A written constitution comprises the fundamental laws which govern the birthrights of an existing nation. Right? Black's not a nation, so you have no birthrights as black because it's not a nation. And also the freedom and rights of the individuals of that nation. There is not enough money in the world to pay for your written Moorish constitution. Would you rather have your Moorish nationality and Moorish constitution and be free? Or would you rather remain as a Negro property slave of the quote-unquote White People's Union of State Society of North America, USA? Let us remember that the name such as Negro is definitely a slave label of the Union Sociologists of North America, USA. The very weapon which they coined to steal your Moorish constitution and birthrights in 1776. This fact cannot be altered. You can put this fact to a test by presenting your written Moorish constitution to the Union States judges and lawmakers in their courts and demand them to produce their written constitution to defy your written Moorish constitution, and confine yourself to your written Moorish constitution and your demand of them as long as the case is in session. Do not ever talk off the record of your Moorish constitution from the first article to the 7th. Otherwise, you will trap yourself and thus become victim of them. So beware. In life, every Moorish American is well qualified to defend their rights in court by their own Moorish constitution, the greatest protection of law of self-defense. If a Moorish American employs a lawyer, they then have surrendered their supreme birthrights constitution to the lawyer, judge, and jurors, and thus becomes their slave, without the rights to defy them. That's from the master, the constitutional lawgiver, Elder C.M. Bay. Islam Moors, peace and love to all. Give thanks for the energy, give thanks for the time. Yeah, sending it back. And you already know how we do. You already know how we do. Don't forget Iron Sheet 6 on the way. Don't forget, we're going to be doing a stop off. Go check the Moor, Brother Jamal's, who, that's my brother. Not some titles BS. Gonna go check my brother and the fam. So don't get it twisted. You know, don't be talking or thinking crazy or anything like that, like you're thinking. Because Cujo's going to Rhode Island to go see his brother, that something else is going on or something like that. Ain't nothing else going on. I'm gonna go check the fam. Because this is what Moors do. This is what Moors do. Because this is bigger than certain things that people are claiming. It's bigger than that. Right? It definitely is bigger than that. Because before anything, we are Moors. Before anything, we're Moors. So if you're free, August 11th, 2018, 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Cujo L and Rise of the Moors presents The Sellout of Our Birthright and the Conscious Community Connections to Noble Drew Ali, as well as Message to the New Moors with Eyes Wide Open. It's going to be at the Riverside Branch Library, 475 Bullocks Point Avenue, Riverside, Rhode Island Territory. Information, riseofthemoors@gmail.com. Islam to the brother and the fam out there. Time is moving, but we shall press palms momentarily. And Islam to all the other Moors everywhere else, wherever you're at. Don't forget, willofallah.com, and enjoy yourselves, Moors. Stay true to the cause, stay true to the principles. Islam. Oh yeah, and peace and love to my co-hosts, Mizraim Aleph L and Mantis Views 29. And don't forget, go to RV Bay Publications and go pick up the book by Mizraim Aleph L. Islam, Moors.
The street is my world. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. I can, but I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day. You know, believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be nothing left.
Let the bass speak.
Playtime been over since y'all dropped the ball. Bound to the continent, there's no asylum for y'all. Pushing the black Asiatic game with Ford L and Pool Bay. Before NOI, I rep Draw L all day. How many fakes proclaim to be the reincarnation and claim to be the true head of the Moorish nation? No mention of Billy Ill, but I read his letters. Dirty Moors mad cause they thought they dead as letters. Many were there when decisions were handed down. Now they claim that Ill was not ordained, not commissioned, not called or appointed. With divine plans for ages, but Dirty Moors making changes, working with FBI during infiltrations. In a pheasant alleys, giving bogey smoke inhalations. And secret walls are made, heads are made in public mentions. Don't believe, get the minutes of the first convention. Kirkman and Lomax Bay got called out as villains against the Prophet Soden and L. Paul Gibbons. Thousands of Moorish Americans followed those leaders that killed the Prophet and made Moors parrots, not readers. They don't study, brains hollow. To crush the truth, plant dissension in the ones that follow. Rob the treasury, felt like they hit the lotto. Took advantage of the faithful Moors in their times of sorrow. Moments still critical 100 years later. The message, stick to the principles in your actions, be progressive. Don't sell your soul for a title, take your membership role. Watch out for grand cheeks pushing you in a censorship hole. The sellout was great, now they comfy and won't get the hell out. Active Moors come around, they get clumsy. Not humbly, but act grumpy and jumpy. Active mods see them touchy and think it's lovely. With faces ugly, I push back so don't shove me. If not for love, it would be just as dirty mods get from me. Hitting all reincarnates with writs of discovery and demanding the treasury, recovery, and love for money. Wearing a fez don't make you a Moorish adept. Dirty Moorish heads are Boy Scouts and cadets. Working for FBI inspectors, slaves for gadgets. Claiming they got pulled, but they really dead magnets. Running a fraud that's done cause new mods are here. One for all for one profit like musketeers. Bay, not Tampa or Buccaneers. I strike nerves like harp strings on those puppeteers. Pushing misconceptions as teachers, they calling it facts. Swinging my scimitar, tongue not a fireman's axe. Quick to call me out as dirty, say I violate acts. If you don't nationalize, know that I annihilate blacks. Nailing through their palms and incepts on beams of wood. Burn crosses on black lawns in my Moorish hood. Black Klansmen like movie from 1960s. White power, not supremacy like Clayton Bigsby. Now I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis, misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. 99 years past, Drew Ali said 50 would pass, and you wouldn't know about me, or even know what I brought for you. NOI and UNIA knew about him too. Most thought that they could bury the movement, be in charge, passive, and abuse it. But Drew said new mods would come with eyes open, seeing and knowing, far from hoping. Far from belief in faith, master fruition. Study the laws of nature, activate intuition. One day our wheels of industry will stop, and when it starts again, Moors will be on top. Drew Ali blessed with latent power. Warned you, get out the way or be ground to powder. Drew Ali didn't kill you fast, but he brought you your title and estate vast. Confusion continues to confuse, no remembrance of Maghrib al-Aqsa by Moorish descendants. I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis, misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. Yeah, Moorish, Master MC. Yo, what up, Stevie Thunder? I hear you. I feel you. Moorish, Master MC, flow fluent. In the language of hip-hop, international student. Life is the school. You might fool me once, never twice, cause on home court we have home rule. I might switch your face with the mic if cordless, more or less, most or less, more, therefore they're more or less, and far worse when most stick in a verse. In their big shades, t-shirt, skirt, and tablet purse. Frontin' the flow, niggas tongue dry like a corpse. Putting rappers under such pressure, I'm watching them walk, watching them sweat beads like a Buddhist rosary. When I call out their jeans and shirts tight like hosiery. Whirlpool flow, when I spit so rotary. Have some mods there to witness, no notary. Characterizing mods active with roguery. When the real culprits deal heavy in potpourri. No, not cedar wood shavings with lemon balm leaf. Conscious cat blacks rap with tricks up their sleeve. I'm the golden era return that make them about turn, cause I'm blasting KRS loud. You must learn, but first unlearn. Put it out your memory. Would aggravated assault on a rapper be a felony? What about kidnapping a rapper, torture him after, or while shaking locks more rasta with demonic laughter? Niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right, 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 niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right. The Negroes are most of y'all heroes, full of self-righteousness, all ego. Most of these cats for deals packing the fudge. I won't budge, plus know it's dread when I judge. You say thou shalt not, that's your opinion. From Hitler is where universal got minions. Apply understanding of knowledge, gain wisdom. Hip-hop free minds in commercial rap prisons. Rapper is the CEO, labels the warden. A&Rs and radio station leaders getting their portion to keep you sleep by beats called trap, to beats by Dre. So it doesn't sound like many didn't learn from Shia Ali. Life is a strap or a movie. Spitting BS rhymes, you lose me and lost me. Rapping Microsofty. Can't beat a gun charge and can't beat a court fee. Niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, them niggas so bozos ain't rhyming right, 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 niggas so them bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, niggas so bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, niggas so bozos ain't rhyming right, niggas so bozos ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, ain't rhyming right, niggas so bozo, ain't rhyming right, then I'm rhyming right,